Hi, fans. Still don't have this Zoom room to YouTube thing completely figured out, but we'll try it again today. There's a lag between live and what's on the YouTube, and that creates a little bit of an issue for me, but we'll see what happens. Let me go to Twitter and announce that I am what I've learned is I have to keep an eye on the chat window so that I can see when you all comment, I can respond to you. So hi, Mateo. Hi, Arvid. Now let me get my screen shared here. I just shared my window, so hopefully it'll show up. Howdy, Troy. Thanks for joining us. Oh, here we go. There we got my screen shared. So you all should be able to share my screen. So as soon as the game starts, we'll be able to watch it on YouTube as well. We should be starting here any minute now. Lambda22 is already in the room. We're waiting for MaxShark. It was scheduled for 11:30, so we have a few more minutes yet. Right now, the match stands at 2-1. Lambda22 is ahead. They played one late last night that MaxShark won. Lambda22 won the first two, and MaxShark won the third one. So all Lambda22 has to get out of this game is a draw to move on, where if MaxShark wins, then MaxShark, it's a 2-2 tie and it goes into tie break. So Max has joined the lobby. So the game should be starting soon. He's joined game room 1. So let me click it as soon as they get started. So they have gotten started. Lambda's playing white. He starts with a ladybug. Max responds with a ladybug. And they both play their mosquitoes. Very common opening, ladybug and mosquito. The choice of opening, it generally goes to the person that places their queen last. So it's very surprising that in this case, both of them are waiting so long to place their queen. They're both placing their queen on the 4th position. And therefore, Max will get an opportunity. He elects to play a C opening. And Max has already played the pill bug, where Lambda has not yet played the pill bug. Max is coming out with another ant. And we'll see if Lambda plays the pill bug now. Nope, looks like he might be bringing in another ant. And sure enough, he brought in another ant against his own queen. So Max will have an opportunity to pin an ant up against the white queen. So let's see what happens. Having the pill bug and mosquito in very good defensive position next to the queen provides a strong defensive position for black. And white has yet to get the pill bug in play. So very interesting so far. Hi, Stanislav. Thanks for watching all the way from Belarus. Lambda attacks with the mosquito, and let's see what happens. He doesn't have to play immediately because there's no threat to that kill spot. He can either warp the queen away or move the mosquito. So Max has started off with getting a lot more bugs into play. Lambda22 has only gotten 5 bugs into play, where MaxShark has 6. We're getting lots of ants brought out very early. That's very typical in a game like this. I think Max might be concerned about white placing a beetle right there, and so he blocked that spot off. So let's see what Lambda22 continues with. Is he going to use the ant to pin one of the existing ants, or is he going to play the pill bug? Both are options. In a game like this, they're playing very quickly, interestingly enough. They've only been in it less than 2 minutes each. Of course, in the tournament, the timing rules in the tournament are +10, which means that if you've used 10 more minutes than your opponent can request a default. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go up here and click track mice so we're not interrupted by the mouse cursor locations by the 2 players. When I play, I kind of like to watch that because you sometimes can have an idea of what your opponent's thinking if you're following his cursor. And so that's important to always remember that as well, because if your opponent can see your cursor, they can also think about what's going on, what you might be thinking. Of course, you can always try to mislead them by playing something else. Move your cursor somewhere and then play something else. So Lambda played his pill bug. So both pill bugs are in play. So one interesting thing that can happen here is black can warp the mosquito away, which reduces white's attack. Black has to be very careful, because if black moves this ant, leaving the pill bug unpinned, then white can actually use the mosquito to warp the pill bug away, and then black no longer has the defensive options of the pill bug. I never like the idea when my opponent gets his mosquito right next to my pill bug, because I'm always concerned that he's going to warp it away. So it's Max's turn. He's waiting right now. He's got 2 ants out and the mosquito. He's got a 3rd ant in play. Looks like he might be moving the ant, see where he's going to go. If I were going to venture a guess, I would say he's probably going to pin this white ant up against the white queen. Yep, that's what he did. So now Lambda has to be careful that he doesn't allow black to warp the mosquito away from the queen. That's a very strong attacking position here when your mosquito is right next to the black queen. So we'll see what Lambda is going to do. I'm going to move this zoom window down here out of the way so we can better see what bugs are in the reserve. No grasshoppers, no mosquito, no beetles, and no spiders have been played. Ladybugs, mosquitoes, pill bugs, and ants are the only bugs been played so far. So it will be very interesting to see how this is going to go. As I mentioned earlier, lambda22 leads the match 2-1, so a draw is in his favor. A draw would result in a match victory for lambda22. There was some exciting hive action in the past week. The Mind Sports Olympiad had their first ever hive events. Both of them were played at Board Game Arena. Last Saturday, Quadlabet won the first ever tournament, which was played with all the expansions and the tournament opening rules. And then on Wednesday, Rise Again won the gold medal in a tournament that had all the expansions but did not have tournament opening. I'm looking forward to going back and reviewing those games to see how many people actually opened with their queen and what the results were. So again, black could safely put the beetle here. The beetle, of course, is let's see, from Quadlabet, Randy, is it possible? So yeah, I moved my image down, so hopefully we can see the time being used. Let me go here. Got to remember to put this to Quadlabet. He's asking me to move my image, so I think I did. So we've got another white ant out, another black ant pinned, and here comes another black ant. Of course, right now, black is not in danger, even though he's got 5 spaces filled, because white does not have a bug that can attack that kill shot space. So it'll be interesting to see what white does. A possible move would be to warp the pill bug out away. Let's take a look. there's a lag between live and going on to YouTube. So I think you'll notice, interesting, I'm still showing up there. I don't know, just shrink it. Why don't I get it off that screen completely? Okay, I think I just brought my Zoom little tiny window completely off the screen, so hopefully it won't be in your way. So Greg is deep in thought here. He could play another bug right here next to the queen, which would then threaten to win by moving the queen over. That would force black's hand. He would have to do something. Or lambda could also warp the black queen away. And what that would do is leave a string of pinned black bugs. But note, he elects to bring in a first beetle enters the game, starting a beetle attack. So black is still not forced to do something. There's no direct threat to take the kill shot. So, and black picks up the mosquito. Is he going to go out and pin the white beetle and threaten to climb up himself? We shall see. Since there's no you touch it, you move it rule like there is in chess, you can quite often do something like this where you pick a bug up. If your opponent's paying attention, you can mislead them by picking up a bug that you have no chance of moving. But in this case, I don't think that Max is doing that. I think he's probably going to pin that beetle to keep the beetle from climbing up. And of course, the interesting thing is, if he does that, if white comes into that spot right there, then black covers the beetle, and the white mosquito no longer has beetle power. So right now, the white mosquito would have beetle power. So let's see what white is planning on doing. White could very easily warp the black queen out to here. Oh, that's what he's going to do. Gets him away from the black pill bug. Now white is threatening to get the black queen pinned out there, away from the, just like that. And now the white, oh, he's not going to use that ant. I was thinking he would take this white ant and move it out to there, but he elected not to do that, interestingly enough. I guess lambda22 figured that keeping the one black ant pinned was more important than filling a fourth spot next to the black queen. It's been an interesting attack by lambda22 here. He's already got the black queen separated from the black pill bug. And as far as mobile ants, Right now it's 2 ants each, but one each of the mobile ants are pinning another ant. The only ant that truly is mobile is the one black ant here, because he can move without negative effects. Interesting, he placed a grasshopper there. He did that so he can get his beetle up and going. An interesting scenario here for white. Look at the attack possibilities with the 3 grasshoppers and the 2 spiders in reserve. You can't place them with a direct line of attack to a kill space. Grasshopper, the only possibility is from here to there, and of course that would free the black queen. So I wonder if this white ant would have been better placed out here, so then you could have lines of attack for bringing in new bugs. Of course, the thing about it here is that black does have a mobile ant that he can use for defense. Interesting. So white found a spot that he has a line of attack to the queen. 1, 2, 3. Missed that one. So contrary to popular belief, I do like the spider. Even though it's the weakest bug in the hive, nothing better than winning a game by taking the kill shot with a spider, or using the spider to do an important protective defensive maneuver. So the white spider could actually do a couple different things here. The white spider could take a shot at the black queen, or if the pill bug moves the white spider to here, it would force black to pin. So there we go. Black is having to use an ant to pin a spider. That's always a good gain for the side that has a spider. Ants pinning ants are efficient uses of ants. Ants pinning spiders are not efficient uses of ants. If you can force your opponent to pin a spider with an ant, that's a good thing. That is interesting. I wonder why my picture is still up here on the top corner. Again, that's one of those situations where I'm not that familiar with these things. I'm still in the learning mode. So right now it's 10 minutes, 14 seconds for lambda, 9 minutes, 7 seconds for max. So lambda's used 1 minute more. There's no threat right now of a time issue. Videos, you understand the rings are bad rule. And so you've got the opportunity of forming this ring. Either person forms the ring is not good because there's bugs of both sides. If white completes the ring, black could very easily just warp the white mosquito away or climb up with the beetle and have the beetle join into the attack. If black completes the ring, then white can warp the queen away or use the ladybug. That's an interesting placement for this grasshopper, because if the grasshopper jumps in here, then black can warp the ant to here, and then that would then threaten to warp the mosquito away from the black queen. So it'll see really interesting to see how that turns out in this attack. So it's Max's turn right now. We're 29 moves in. And they're almost exactly even on time, 10.5 minutes apiece. Max could play another bug right here and that. And that's what he did. He put a spider right there, which will allow that black beetle to begin marching forward. And I immediately assumed that this grasshopper was there so the ant could move, but it looks like the grasshopper might be aiming toward this spot right here. So we'll see what happens. The black spider, if it does in fact go there, as you can see the little dot, Max has not clicked done yet. He has now clicked done, the spider is there, up, and lambda22 immediately go, oh, interesting. He uses it to pin the grasshopper rather than either attacking or moving the beetle. Of course, he can still place in the other second spider right there and have an option to get that black beetle climbing up atop the hive. So the only bug atop the hive right now is the black mosquito here, covering the white beetle underneath it. Each player still has one beetle left in reserve. The question is, does white have an opportunity to get this ant in play without freeing the black ant here? Of course, that's what, if black did play a bug right there, freeing the black beetle, of course, that would leave all of these bugs pinned until another bug was dropped into that spot. Almost 12 minutes apiece. Both of them are using almost exactly the same amount of time. Right now, it's lambda22's turn, and we're waiting to see what would happen. So let's see if he has an opportunity to get a spider into play. Let's say we want to get a spider to that spot right there. No, he can't get it to that spot right there, because that would mean it would have to be here, and no doubt black would then warp the mosquito away. So white could move the ant to here, which would then, nope, still can't get a line of attack with the spider. One thing about beetles is, because they move so slowly, if tempo is an issue, you absolutely have to move the beetle, spawn the beetle close to where you want it to use it. I think this placement, oh, interesting that he's putting it there. What's the purpose of the white grasshopper being placed there? Let's see where it could go. It could go there, which could free the pill bug or force black to move so they could, without freeing the ant. He definitely doesn't want to make the ring. Okay, the second black beetle comes in. Interesting. Now, if the grasshopper jumps over, oh no, he can just bring it right into there. Interesting. Max might have some attacking possibilities here, and lambda22 doesn't take much time at all to pin that beetle. Of course, what that does is it releases another black ant. But if he releases the black ant, this black beetle can no longer be released by a bug placed here. So it will be interesting to see what Max is attempting to do now. Of course, when there's pill bug in play, in order to win, you have to neutralize the opponent's pill bug. The easiest way to do that is by covering it with a beetle. Two other options, you saw what White did in this game, was use your pill bug to warp the opposing pill bug away from its own, warp the opposing queen away from the pill bug, which is what White did here. Or the other option is to completely surround the pill bug where it can't move anything. So here comes the black queen, the black ant, pinning the grasshopper. And we'll see if that's where it's going to stay. Time is not a factor in this game. Both of them have used almost exactly the same amount of time, 1350. If I were White, I think what I would do is move this ant out to here, which would allow your newly placed bugs to have lines of attack. White has to make sure that he doesn't run out of bugs. He only needs 3. He's only got 3 in reserve and 1 mobile. But Black's problem right now is that he doesn't have an easy way of neutralizing the white pill bug right at the moment. Was there a purpose for that? Or did he just want to waste a tempo forcing Black to move? So right currently, Black has 2 mobile ants, but both of them are pinning important bugs. White has 2 mobile ants. One of them is already attacking. The question will be, who's going to get their attack in first? Because neither of them have completely taken the pill bug out of play, because the black pill bug is still right there, 1 square away, 1 hex away from the black queen. Got to keep remembering to check to see if any of you are making comments in the chat. So okay, Black is bringing in the spider, going to immobilize the last white ant. So the question would be, if you're white and you know your ant's going to get pinned, where do you want it to get pinned? I would choose to have it pinned in line, because if you let it get pinned right there, the black beetle can be released by moving into the elbow right there. So let's see what lambda decides to do. Of course, this is a very good opportunity to see a good spider placement, because the spider only has two options to move, here or here, both of which are efficient. Here releases the pin, replaces the pin and allows the black ant to move. Here pins the white ant. So what's lambda going to do here with his next move? I still think at some point white is better off moving the ant to this point, this position on the queen. Because as it is right now, very difficult for any of the bugs in reserve to have lines of attack to the queen. Oh, nope. He's pinning the spider, letting the queen go. That's interesting. Now, of course, if you're black, you just move your queen out beyond, just like that. Now white has very few chances to win. With the black queen out there, he needs 5 bugs. He's got 3 in reserve. Interesting. But I still don't think that gains him anything. It is true that he now has a spot to place the white beetle. But letting the queen go was, in my opinion, not a smart idea. Yes, Dean Gregory asked the question, could that spider be looking to make a pin replacement? Yes. There were 2 options for the spider, making a pin replacement or pinning the white ant. So in my opinion, that was not a smart move by lambda22, letting the queen go. But again, I have to remember that in this match, it's 2-1 lambda leading. So all lambda needs is a draw in this game to win the match. Now, the other interesting scenario here is this black ant is no longer that critical pinning this white spider, because the white spider used to have a line of attack toward the black queen. It no longer does. But if this black ant releases it, then the pill bug could move it to there with the possibility of warping the ant away. But to have any chance of winning, black is going to have to come up with some method of getting a bug atop the hive to neutralize the white pill bug. So I think if it were me, I would start moving. I would probably move the queen 1 more space out to get it in line, and then start marching forward with the black mosquito. Time is still fairly close. Lambda22 is at 17:52. MaxShark is at 17:36 and counting. So right now, time is not an issue. Okay, he's going to force white to do something with the queen. And because black does have a bug that has a line of attack toward that kill spot, white will have to warp the queen away. Well, not necessarily. He could use the ant to pin the ant, but then he would lose both of these. So he almost has to warp the queen away. And of course, he can't warp it to here because then black would win here. So his only choice is to warp it to out there. Wow, that surprised me because now the black spider pins both of these bugs out here. Yep, that's very, very surprising. But of course, again, we go back to the all white needs as a draw. So we're approaching the 40-minute mark in this match, in this game. 1852 for lambda, 1918 and counting for Max. A black grasshopper placed here would have a line of attack toward the kill space, but that would force the white queen to get warped. And then you would end up leaving a black grasshopper in a not such an ideal position. Now that's interesting. Why did he do that? Allow white to pin. I've been wrong before, but I don't think that black has much of a chance of winning right now. Although if white pins the ant, the black spider comes in and into the elbow and releases the black ant. I still think the only chance at all that black has is to start the mosquito on the long trek. And even then, I don't think there's any chance because white warps the queen out. And that's the black mosquito. The two bugs in reserve is 3. The white ant is 4. I'm sorry, the black ant is 4. So I don't think that black can possibly come up with 5 bugs in order to win. So it'll be interesting to see what his plan is. Also be interesting to see at what point does lambda offer a draw. So why is he concerned about pinning the spider? It's an interesting question. It is true that the white spider can pin the black ant, but then the black spider fills the elbow and the black ant is free. Yep, see, that's what I would do is I would move my queen out there so it's in line and then start the long trek with the mosquito. But what white could do is white could move the queen either on its own or warping it away, and then use this spot right here as a spawn point for a white beetle, and the white beetle could intercept the black mosquito. With the hive getting this spread out and the reserves dwindling, it's hard to see how either player is going to win now. Interesting. Looking at a way to get an ant in play. White grasshopper goes to there. Pillbug pulls the ant away. Looking to do a pin replacement. In an in-game situation where you don't want to be squeezed, it's good to have mobile ants and beetles atop the hive. Right now, it'd be almost impossible to squeeze black because black does have the mosquito just moving back and forth. I have to move this around, shrink this down, white. Of course, black is not as concerned about, white is not as concerned about releasing this black ant because that would release the grasshopper. Max spent some time on one of those moves just recently. He's up to 20, over a little over 25 minutes. Lambda's at 20 and a half minutes. So about 5-minute difference right now. Black is fighting to get another ant free. I still think white's best maneuver would be to move the queen and then use the spot to spawn his last beetle. Because I don't think that black has enough bugs to win. So not only does white have the pill bug defending, he also has 2 good defenders and a grasshopper and a ladybug. It's an interesting way to keep that ant from being released. Just one of those things that shows how deep this game can be. Although what could very well happen is it could release the beetle. Oh no, because when the grasshopper jumps out, jumping into there would release the white ant as well. And I hate to keep mentioning it, but remember, all lambda needs to do is draw. And now the white grasshopper jumps out and pins the black ant. Oh, interesting. See, I would think that I would jump the other way because I don't mind if that grasshopper jumps, because if the grasshopper jumps, it's going to free my ant. We're reaching the limit of visibility on the screen. I'm already shrunk to this lowest that we can get. I still think lambda's best bet is to work at getting a spawn point for the beetle so we can get the beetle up. Gone over 50 minutes of total time. 23:25 and counting for lambda, 27:25 for max. So about 4-minute difference. No problems with time forfeiture. Not that it matters, but there's also a possibility of forming a little ring right here. If Max can get an ant into that spot right there, that would free this beetle, which then at some point possibly free the see now I think the only all lambda has to do is warp the queen away, place the beetle there. That beetle will stop this mosquito, or alternatively, the beetle can march down here and free this ant. So I'm really surprised that lambda hasn't done that already. With the hive stretched out like this, I don't think there's any chance it's going to come to a victory. I think it's going to end up in a draw. Particularly if both players have ants mobile. In a game like this, about the only way you can force a victory is if you can force your opponent into a squeeze situation. Chess players call it zugzwang. I like to call it bugzwang. And it's interesting. Maybe the white queen is headed out to relieve the white spider. Yeah, see, he's concerned about that spawn point. Now, can the white spider 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Nope. White spider cannot easily provide a pin replacement for this ant out here. And of course, if you're white, you don't, oh, I'm very surprised about that. Because you definitely want to keep your white pill bug near your queen. Ah, interesting. He's going to use this combination of bugs up here in order to free a black beetle. I would be very, very worried about voluntarily separating my pill bug from my queen. Oh, that's interesting. I'm thinking that the grasshopper can jump to there and free the beetle. But if that's the case, the grasshopper jumps to there, then white just warps the pill bug away and leaving the black beetle pinned. It's that pill bug mosquito combination, that all kinds of different options. I think we might have a repetition of position here. Lambda, oh, nope, he's moving the spider away, but see, where can the spider go? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's not possible. It's interesting. I wonder where the spider is planning on going. Let's see, if the queen moves to there, it's a possibility. Approaching 30 minutes for each player, and the black mosquito begins its march. I definitely think if I were white in this position, I would be worried about getting my pill bug back to my queen. But right now, I don't think black has anywhere near enough bugs to win. He needs 5. He's got one ant free here. Mosquito, there is 2, 3. I don't think there's any way possible he can get 5 bugs. I have been wrong, but I don't see how there's a possibility as spread out as everything is right now. Time is still not an issue. It's 29:58, almost just hit 30 for Lambda, 29:57 for MaxShark, so almost exactly the same amount of time, 30 minutes apiece. Now, what's black going to do? He's got to keep that pocket protected. So it's a pocket protector. New term. And now the pill bug goes back into the pocket. Yep. And if black doesn't move the ant, then the pill bug moves it, and then the ant ends up getting pinned. Once the ant gets pinned, then the white beetle comes into play. Nothing can stop the white beetle from coming in. So if he goes back to pin the graph, oh, nope. Still think white's best bet is to try to make that pocket a safe place for the beetle to come in. "31 minutes apiece, almost exactly the same in time." No time pressure on either player right now. So this has been an exciting match. Let's take a look at this is the finals of the losers bracket of Pool B. So the winner here will move on to the knockout rounds. So I think the same thing. Lambda moves the pill bug, threatening to bring the beetle in. And I think this match is going to end up, this game is going to end up a draw, and Lambda is going to win the match 2.5 to 1.5. And I don't know why my little picture here is covering over. Let me just try something. What if I do this and that? Nope, doesn't move my little thing. That's interesting. Oh, there's another option on getting the beetle up. If he pins the beetle, the grasshopper jumps over, and then the beetle is unpinnable. My wife just got home, so I'm gonna have to step away for just a minute. Be right back. It's Saturday morning here, so my wife usually goes out to the local farmer's market. So the white beetle comes in. Is black going to attempt to pin it? So time is currently 34:04 for lambda, 33:15 and counting for MaxShark. Less than a minute difference, no threat for time consideration. So he's picking up the ant. I don't think there's any way he can, because if he pins the beetle here, the only spot that he can pin the beetle, then if the grasshopper jumps over, the beetle is no longer pinnable and the beetle gets up. So the beetle's coming up no matter what. Interesting. Max has to move the ant, otherwise the ant is warped in by the pill bug, which is the worst case scenario. Yep, I had mentioned that earlier, the possibility of forming that ring and getting the beetle up. Now if the beetle comes up, the white queen just marches out here until it pins the black ant. Because once the white queen comes out here and pins the black ant, then this grasshopper can jump, freeing this white ant. And ants are the best way to keep from being squeezed. Yep, there he goes. Although that's interesting because I think there's a beetle underneath, I mean an ant underneath there. Max is going to end up with all 3 bugs atop the hive, but I don't think he's going to have enough to win. Yep. Well, he thought about it, but then he changed his mind. See, let's see what happens if the white grasshopper jumps in, threatening to release the ant. Oh, yeah, he's going to continue on over now. Okay, here comes the black beetle. So the white grasshopper jumps to there. See, the danger goes to there, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might have enough to win. See, black could free an ant if the black beetle goes to there. And now's his only chance to do it. Now the white beetle has to climb up to keep the black spider from pinning it. Or if the black spider goes out to there. The white beetle has to move, otherwise the spider pins it. Time is 36:45 and counting for lambda, 38:35 for max. So again, still no time pressure on either side. I think if I were white, what I would do is march the beetle down this direction and then jump in with a grasshopper. See, that forces the beetle up. Oh, interesting. Now the beetle has to cover the ant, and the grasshopper goes to there. Grasshopper goes to there, and then to there, and we've got an ant free. Yep. So the white grasshopper to there, and then to there, and I don't think there's any way you can stop that ant from getting free. Interesting. He's doing the white grasshopper this way in order to free that ant, but he could do it the other way and free a second ant. I wonder if he considered that, or if I'm missing something. Well, this is where these games can get very difficult, these end-game such scenarios. If this weren't a game 4 in a tournament game, I think both players would probably have agreed to a draw. I still think white should go grasshopper to here, grasshopper to there, and free this ant. And we'd end up with 2 ants free. It doesn't look like Lambda has a plan. Now it's almost impossible for black to squeeze white because white has the only mobile ant. So this will put a second bug there. And he's got 2 beetles, that's 4. See, he doesn't have enough to win. I don't think that black has any chance. You could take the white ant, come out here and pin the queen elbow, and then this grasshopper goes jump, 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 hop around, attacks with the grasshopper. That keeps the queen pinned, immobile. So does white have enough to win? White can get, in theory, can get this grasshopper there, can get this grasshopper there. That's 3. The ant is 4, does not have enough. I don't think there's any way this spider could get over to there. Well, in theory. I think white missed the opportunity, could have 2 furry ants instead of just 1. But he also has to be careful that black doesn't sacrifice a beetle to free this ant. I don't see what the purpose of that was. The grasshopper could jump out. Nope. Black just doesn't have enough bugs. So I think this game is headed toward a draw. It'll just be interesting when they finally come to admit it. We're going to turn 105, 85 minutes in the game, almost exactly the same time, 42 and change for each player. No bugs left in reserve, they're all played. Yep, I don't think there's any chance this is going to be anything other than a draw. Even though black has 2 beetles up. The only chance lambda has of winning involves getting this grasshopper out here on the queen, which is here, 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 and here. But you have to, in the meantime, pin the queen to keep it from just moving over. Yeah, see, that's the wrong spot, though. Because let's see what would happen if the grasshopper goes here, here, here. If the grasshopper moves, interesting. If the grasshopper jumps, then the spider can't move, because if the spider moves, then the pill bug gets warped over and white gains a mosquito. The black beetle, this black beetle has to continue moving forward. The only other option is this grasshopper to jump, but the problem with that is this beetle is permanently attached, because then that releases an ant. So it's come to the point where this is going to end up a draw. I don't think there's any possible way, but you never know. Somebody could make a mistake. They've been playing for over an hour, approaching an hour and a half. White doesn't dare let the ant get pinned. Have we reached the point where we're going to start duplicating positions? So I think white is missing his opportunity. Instead, he should be bringing that grasshopper around to attack, but I guess he's not going to. So that releases the white ant. Where can the spider go? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Can't do there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, you have to keep the ant moving. You can't let it get pinned. You jump out to there, keep the ant mobile. Yep. If lambda is continuing to on this plan, you just jump out there. So I believe, like I've said before, I don't think there's any chance that either of them are going to win. The only way black could sacrifice a beetle, put it in this elbow, and get a black ant free. But I don't think there's any other options. So black only has 2 mobile bugs. The only place this beetle can safely go is to there, forming the ring. That doesn't release the ant. So this one could any one of 5 spots. So these 2 ants are hopelessly pinned. MaxShark just made a note. Apparently there's no point in dragging on time. I don't think that either player is in time crunch at all. Both players have bugs they can move mindlessly. MaxShark said you guaranteed a draw, so I guess he expected that. So I think they're about ready to the point where they're going to agree to a draw. Let's see if Max offers the draw. So Lambda said you'll need to click the propose a draw button, and it's fine with him. So if Max has offered a draw, and it looks like it's about ready to be accepted. Yep, ends up a draw. What a game. Almost 2 hours, 123 moves. Ends the draw. Lambda22 moves on, wins the match 2.5 to 1.5. And here's the Pool B bracket. The top of Pool B, Judoka won. The bottom part of Pool B, Lambda and MaxShark playing one another. The winner there ends up here, and they both move on. So Lambda22 moves on. Good game, Greg. So the game is over. The match is over. Thanks for watching. Look forward to the next time have an opportunity to do a live broadcast. We've got 5 players into the final 8. So that tournament can start whenever Lambda22 and his next opponent agrees to. They can go ahead and get started. We're waiting for results from 3 other losers brackets. Hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll have all of those complete. So thanks again for watching. This is Randy Ingersoll signing off, and I hope you have a good afternoon.